What is up, guys? Kid Critic is back with another video, and this isn't just any ordinary video. This is the first episode of Talking Movies with Kid Critic. Now you may be wondering, what am I watching right now? And what this show basically is where every Friday I will choose 5 topics of the week that's about what's happening in the movie world. Like today we'll be talking about Aquaman making $1 billion, the new John Wick Chapter 3 trailer. It'll basically be me running down the topics and putting my thoughts into them. Now, if you're not interested in that, then go watch my reviews. But if you are, then tune in and watch. Now, since this is a special episode, I might as well have a special guest. And I thought, who better than the English Kid Critic? Please introduce yourself today. Yes, I am very excited to be here with you. I just finished my cup of tea and I'm very pumped to be talking movies with the Kid Critic. An English Kid Critic will be joining me from time to time, not every single episode, because he's a busy man, you know? He's a part of the Kid Critic squad. Every person part of the Kid Critic squad is pretty busy. So anyways, with that out of the way, let's get to the very first topic of news today.
It has just been reported from Box Office Mojo that Aquaman, even though it just lost its #1 spot to the upside, it has just crossed over $1 billion worldwide.
Okay, before Aquaman came out, I thought this movie was probably going to make 600 to 700 million, possibly $800 million. And when I learned that this movie came out, and it had this huge opening, and it's been having legs at the box office, and now it's made $1 billion. I think Warner Brothers deserves an applause and a big pat on the back, because the thing that helped this movie make $1 billion is that they waited a year to release another DCEU movie, because Justice League came out in November of 2017, and then they waited more than a year, more like a year and a month, because Aquaman came out in December, and all the negativity that was around the DCEU when Justice League came out basically started to dissolve. Then the marketing campaign started to wrap up for Aquaman, and then people started getting excited to hear James Wan is behind the camera. Everybody loves James Wan. Then the movie comes out. It was a smash, quality-wise and obviously financially, and I think that is the reason why Aquaman made $1 billion. Now, I think that the DCU has a very bright future, especially with the change of leadership with Walter Hamada. I think he knows exactly what he's doing, and I believe that over time, just like how an MCU film comes out, everybody's like, oh, we're in for a treat here. I have a feeling that if Shazam and Wonder Woman 84, if they both kick butt, quality-wise especially, I think the DCU will just be like the MCU, where like, oh, DC movie, you already know it's going to be a great movie. So anyways, what do you think about that, English Kid Critic? I was very excited to see this Aquaman film. The trailers looked really cool. I like that Jason Momoa, man. Big buff, just like me. And coming out to this movie, this film was just horrible. The octopus playing the drums. Octopus playing the drums. Alright, well, I don't necessarily agree with you, but as we all know, every movie is subjective. Now, with that said, let's get on to the second topic of today's show, which is...
Variety has reported that Paramount has signed Christopher McQuarrie for not 1, but 2 more Mission Impossible films that will be shot back to back. Part 7 plans to come out in the summer of 2021 to get out of the way of Top Gun Maverick, which comes out in the summer of 2020. They also plan with Mission Impossible 8 to come out in the summer of 2022.
Okay, I see why they would go ahead and make these next couple Mission Impossible movies, because I gotta be honest, these previous Mission Impossible films have been bonkers good. I loved Ghost Protocol, I loved Rogue Nation, I really enjoyed Fallout, and not only have these previous films been good quality-wise, but they have been huge in the box office. Like, for example,
The first Mission Impossible film made $457 million. Then the second Mission Impossible film made $546 million. Then the next installment had a little bit of a drop off of $397 million. But then Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol jumped right back up to $694 million. Then Rogue Nation followed that up with $682 million. Then Fallout was the biggest of them all, was $791 million.
So imagine if Mission Impossible 7 is even bigger at the box office, and then, well, of course, the movie has to be good first, and if the movie is just as good as the previous films, they might even have a chance at $1 billion. Probably not, but I have been wrong before, like Aquaman, of course. And another thing to be excited for is Christopher McQuarrie, of course, who directed Fallout and Rogue Nation, which were both very solid entries into the franchise. Now, there's only one thing that I'm very hesitant about, is that there's been a curse lately in Hollywood where if a director stays too long at a franchise, then the more movies they make in that franchise, the quality then starts to decrease. And I'll use the example of David Yates with the Harry Potter franchise. When he first got onto the Harry Potter franchise, the films were really good. But now, most people would agree with me that the previous two Fantastic Beasts films are definitely not like on par as the Harry Potter films that he has made, and just the quality has decreased. And if that doesn't happen, then I think this is a great idea. Another reason is, I mean, Tom Cruise is getting younger, even though he'll probably be jumping buildings at 90 years old. And overall, this is just a great decision on them. So what do you think about this, English Kid Critic?
Wake up, man!
Pardon me, sir. Pardon me, sir. I didn't mean to sleep. Alright, you know what? We're just gonna move on to the next topic, which is...
A recent teaser has just come out that has confirmed a new Ghostbusters film is coming out in the summer of 2020. To add on to that, Jason Reitman, the son of Ivan Reitman, is going to be behind the camera this time around.
I think this is a great idea for Sony to do this, because if it wasn't Jason Reitman, I'd probably have a different point of view on this, but it's Jason Reitman, who has had a great track record, whether it's Juno or Up in the Air. He's just had a great track record, and not only does he have a good track record, but his father is Ivan Reitman, who made the original Ghostbusters films. And if he's like, man, I don't know what to do here, he could just call up Ivan Reitman and be like, yo, Pops, I'm having trouble making this Ghostbusters film. Can you help me here? And I mean, Ivan Reitman's probably going to have a hand in this Ghostbusters film, because I think he's actually a producer on the movie, and I think that is very exciting. But one thing that I hope Sony doesn't do is that I hope they don't spend as much money in this Ghostbusters film, because the previous 2016 Ghostbusters movie, which I wasn't a huge fan of, they used $144 million into the movie, and the movie ended up making $229 million. Well, that is not horrible, that is still not great, because you probably have to make double the amount of your budget, or maybe even triple amount of your budget. And these Ghostbusters movies are not movies that you spend $144 million in, because they've barely made $250 million in the past. So I think they should probably put it around $90 million into the movie, just like they did with the original. But other than that, I'm very excited to see where they take this movie. What is your thoughts on this, English Kid Critic? I am not a big fan of these Ghostbusters films. I do not know how people enjoy these disgusting films. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. They are a disgrace to mankind. Awful films. Ugh. Okay, I think it would be very hard to find somebody who agrees with you on that, but let's just move on to the next topic, which is...
Lionsgate has just released a new trailer for their up-and-coming, highly anticipated film, John Wick Chapter 3, which releases in May of 2019.
Okay, I am a huge fan of this John Wick franchise. Really liked John Wick 1, and I really enjoyed John Wick Chapter 2, so I'm really anticipating John Wick Chapter 3, and This trailer was awesome. And the cinematography is great. The color palette is amazing. The choice of the song choice was brilliant. But this is why this trailer is so great. Because if you're looking for a movie this year, you're like, I'm looking for a movie where there's dogs pouncing on some fools. If you want to see that, John Wick Chapter 3 has that. If you want to see John Wick riding horses in the middle of the streets, shooting some fools in the head, John Wick Chapter 3 has that. But more importantly, if you want to see people with motorcycles and swords, I don't think you guys heard me right. I don't think you guys heard me right. People with motorcycles and swords. Okay, just get that through your head. If you're looking for that, that is what I call action greatness. Now this is where I become a little bit more hesitant, even though I don't think this is official. But the movie is rumored to be about 2 hours and 23 minutes. And I think that could get a little bit long for the film, especially if the action starts getting very repetitive. But if they added like subplots in there that work, I'll be totally fine with that. But to be honest, I can watch 5 hours of John Wick action, especially with motorcycles and swords. This movie sounds awesome, and I cannot wait for this movie. English Kid Critic, your thoughts? Now, are these the movies with the John McClane? No, that's Die Hard. Oh, then I don't care then. This franchise is poo-poo then. You know what? I'll just get that. We'll just get to the next topic here, which is a good one that lots of people are excited for, because it's about this little trailer that is released by this small company that I've heard of, but let's just get into it right here.
Marvel has just put out their first trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home that has lots of people talking and are enjoying this trailer. Spider-Man Far From Home webs into theaters in July of 2019.
Okay, in all honesty, I'm very looking forward to Spider-Man Far From Home to see where they take the MCU after Endgame. Yes, I know some people think it's a prequel to Infinity War, but I kind of think it's after Endgame. Even though Kevin Feige kind of confirmed it, but you know, he could be tricking us, which I totally see that happening. That I really enjoyed the trailer for Spider-Man Far From Home, and the first reason why I really enjoyed it was the music. The way they took the original Spider-Man theme and put it into like more present music was phenomenal. I loved the music for this trailer. I'm very curious though about what they do with Mysterio, because I kind of think like Mysterio is playing some tricks. Like it's definitely, I feel like he's making himself look like the good guy because you see him fighting the elementals. I totally think that he's making himself look like the good guy, which a lot of people are also thinking. And the Spider-Man outfit, I loved the Spider-Man outfit in Homecoming. I thought it looked cool in Infinity War, the Iron Man Jr. I've heard. But this Spider-Man suit, I'm not talking about like the darker one, that one's cool too, but the black and red one, phenomenal looking suit. I love it. It was awesome seeing Nick Fury show up again. And something that I noticed in this trailer is that this movie feels more cinematic from Homecoming. Like it just feels like bigger. It just feels like it's on a bigger and a grander scale, and it feels amazing. And I'm really excited to see this movie. What do you think, English Kid Critic? Finally, something I actually liked. This trailer was beautiful. Unlike that terrible DC film, because you know, Marvel fan for life. No DC. Terrible. Only Marvel fan. It is this trailer was amazing. Would you guys like to know why? I'm sorry about that, English Kid Critic, but you'll be able to put your thoughts in next time if I let you. And with that said, guys, thank you for joining us today on this fine day. Hope you return for the next episode of Talkin' Movies with Kid Critic. And on behalf of English Kid Critic and the real true Kid Critic, look out for the next video, and Peace.